Hey, everyone! Have you ever heard someone refer to a toilet as the crapper and wondered where that odd name came from? It sounds like it has something to do with, well, you know. But is that really the case? Today we're diving into the surprisingly interesting history of why toilets are sometimes called the crapper. And no, it's not just a crude joke. There's actually a fascinating historical reason behind it. Let's get into it, right here, on History of Simple Things. Before we get to the word crapper, let's take a quick look at the history of toilets. Toilets have been around for thousands of years, dating back to ancient civilizations like the Indus Valley, the Romans, and the Chinese. The Romans in particular were famous for their sophisticated plumbing systems and public latrines, which were quite advanced for their time. But after the fall of the Roman Empire, sanitation in Europe took a nosedive. For centuries, chamber pots and outhouses were the norm, and indoor plumbing was practically unheard of. Fast forward to the 19th century, and we meet a man named Thomas Crapper. Yes, that was his real name. Born in England in 1836, Crapper was a plumber and businessman who played a significant role in popularizing modern indoor plumbing. While he didn't invent the flush toilet, he was instrumental in improving and mass-producing it. He owned a plumbing company, Thomas Crapper and Company, which supplied high-quality bathroom fixtures to the public and even to the British royal family. One of his major contributions was refining the siphon flush mechanism, which made toilets more efficient and less prone to leaking. His company also helped standardize toilet designs, making them more accessible and reliable. With his name prominently displayed on toilet tanks and bathroom fittings, it wasn't long before people started associating his name with the device itself. Now, this is where things get interesting. The term crapper as slang for a toilet didn't actually originate in England. It gained popularity in the United States during World War I. American soldiers stationed in England saw the name crapper on toilets and bathroom fixtures and started calling toilets crappers. To them, it was an easy and amusing way to refer to something they used every day. By the time the soldiers returned home, the slang had stuck. People started using the crapper to mean toilet, and the term gradually became part of everyday language. So while it might sound like a joke, it's actually a case of a brand name turning into a common word, just like how Kleenex is often used to refer to any tissue, or Google is used as a verb for searching the internet. A lot of people assume that Thomas Crapper actually invented the flush toilet, but that's not true. The flush toilet existed long before he was born. In fact, the earliest known flushable toilet was designed by Sir John Harington in 1596 for Queen Elizabeth I. However, it didn't catch on widely at the time. The modern version of the flush toilet was developed in the 18th and 19th centuries, with multiple inventors refining its design over time. Crapper's role was in making flush toilets more practical and widespread, not in inventing them from scratch. Another myth is that his name directly led to the word crap, meaning excrement. The word crap actually has older origins, dating back to Middle English, meaning chaff or waste material. However, it's likely that Crapper's name helped reinforce the connection between toilets and the slang term. Though he didn't invent the toilet, Thomas Crapper's contributions to plumbing were undeniably important. He made indoor bathrooms more common, reliable, and sanitary, which had a huge impact on public health. His company's designs and innovations influenced modern toilets, and some of his designs are even preserved in plumbing museums today. Interestingly, his company, Thomas Crapper and Company, still exists today, selling vintage-style bathroom fixtures. His legacy lives on in more ways than one, even if his name became the butt of a joke, literally. Beyond plumbing, Crapper was also an advocate for sanitation awareness. In a time when hygiene standards were inconsistent, he worked to promote the importance of proper waste disposal and plumbing systems. His efforts contributed to the gradual acceptance of indoor plumbing as a necessity rather than a luxury. Another fascinating detail is that Thomas Crapper held several patents related to bathroom fixtures, including improvements to water closets and pipe designs. While none of these patents were for the invention of the toilet itself, they helped refine the functionality and efficiency of modern plumbing systems, making everyday use more convenient. Even today, Crapper's name sparks curiosity and amusement, making him one of the most well-known figures in plumbing history. His legacy is often referenced in pop culture, from documentaries to comedic sketches, ensuring that his contributions to sanitation remain recognized, even if people still giggle at his name. So, the next time you hear someone refer to the toilet as the crapper, you'll know the real story behind it. It's not just a silly slang term, it's a piece of history tied to a real person who helped revolutionize modern plumbing. And while Thomas Crapper didn't invent the toilet, his work made them a lot more convenient for everyone. It's fascinating how a single name can leave such an impression on history, even in ways that were never intended. The fact that soldiers unknowingly turned his name into slang speaks volumes about how language evolves over time. It's a perfect example of how necessity, humor, and branding can shape the way we talk about everyday things. But beyond the funny name, Thomas Crapper's contributions should be remembered for what they really were: innovations that helped create the modern bathroom experience. Without pioneers like him, we wouldn't have the sanitation and convenience we take for granted today. So, in a way, every time we flush, we owe a little nod of appreciation to Crapper and the countless engineers who followed in his footsteps. History is full of little stories like this: unexpected twists, amusing origins, and fascinating connections between language and innovation. If you have any other strange or surprising historical facts you'd like us to explore, let us know. Thank you for watching. If you have suggestions for our next video, feel free to share them in the comments below. We'll be sure to give you an acknowledgement for your contribution. Thank you for joining us on this journey through the history of simple things. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more stories woven through the smallest details.